For maybe the earlier thing, can you give us a funny Maynard story to
Oh
add
my
to
goodness. There's a bunch of funny Maynard stories. Just talking to him was hilarious, because you could say, hey, how's it? We call him Boss. Dennis de Blasio came up with that because, hi, Maynard. Just didn't feel right. Maynard, how's it going? So we started calling him Boss, and you could just say, hey, Boss, how's it going? He goes, oh, yeah, and I had this dog, and his name was Monk, and we called him Monkey, and it was funny, and have you ever been to India? And I was like, what are you even saying? So he was just on the whole time. One of the funniest things that happened with me personally was had to do with Miles Davis and Maynard, and they were great, great friends. Used to work together at the original Birdland. So Miles, in the late 70s, had gone into retirement. In fact, Don Cheadham's movie, Miles Ahead, is all about those years. And so it took him a while to get his sound back, and there was all these rumors that he had died or what was up with Miles. So he finally came out of retirement with a new band with Bill Evans, the saxophonist, and Mike Stern, and all these guys. And there was going to be a big celebration for him at Radio City Music Hall in New York. And Maynard was going to play in it. Slide Hampton had written this piece that featured all the trumpet players in New York. It was Maynard, it was Art Farmer, John Faddis, Randy Brecker, all these unbelievable. And because Slide had written that and Maynard was in it, they had some tickets for this event that was sold out, but not enough for the whole band. So they raffled them off, and amazingly, I won one of the tickets. Dennis de Blasio and I got tickets. And so I was so excited. I'm going to get to go see Miles Davis. And then they said, no, this is a black tie affair. And I thought, oh, what's that? And they described what you have to have a tux. And I said, I had no money, because I would just, as soon as I would get it, I'd spend it or go out and eat. So I had no money to rent one. So, oh my gosh, well, the show's tonight. I got to get a tux. So I tried to get creative. So here's what I came up with for a tux. We were wearing T-shirts and black pants and black tennis shoes in those days. But the black pants were like parachute things with zippers on them and stuff. I said, well, all right, I got black shoes and black pants. I got to start. I said, what do I do for a tux shirt? And I rummaged through my suitcase, and accidentally I had put in this 1970s yellow tux shirt with ruffles. It had ruffles up here and ruffles like prints on the sleeves. So I said, well, all right, it's a start. So now what for a coat? And it was winter, and so I had brought a navy pea coat. So you can see how this tux is starting to come together. So I had the navy pea coat and the ruffles and the zipper thing. I said, I got to get a bow tie now. So I'm thinking, how am I going to get a bow tie? So right next to Radio City Music Hall was this restaurant where the waiters had these giant, like clown-like bow ties, these big things. I said, well, that'll work. So I asked one of the waiters, man, could I just borrow a tie for you? He says, you cannot. This is my uniform. You can't have it. And I said, well, how about for 10 bottles of champagne? Because Maynard loved champagne. It was his healthy drink of choice.
Right.
And so there was a case on the bus, and he wouldn't miss, maybe it was 3 bottles. I forget how much it was. And the guy said, okay, bring me the bottles, and you can have the tie, but you have to give it back to me tomorrow. So I got the tie. So it was this giant bow tie and the ruffles and the pea coat and the zipper. So I go to the event, and we're backstage, and all the who's who is like Wayne and Herbie, all the cats are there. And Denny and I are kind of in the background like, we're not worthy. And then Miles comes out with Cecily Tyson backstage, he was married to at the time, and stands under one of the spotlights. And Herbie and all the guys started acting like us, like, oh, we're not worthy, it's Miles. So that was amazing. But the end of the story is afterwards, there was an after party. So I was in this little room with Miles Davis and all these amazing, heavy, like living textbooks all around me. So I got in line to get some food because I was starving because I had no money, of course. So I'm in line, and I realize I'm standing behind Herbie Hancock. I'm like, oh my gosh, all right, when he turns around, I'm going to say, I prepared what I was going to say. I said, so in the second grade quartet, when you guys would do metric modulations and in fact superimpose one idea on top, I had this thing all worked out. He turns around and I couldn't make a word. I was like, so imagine where Herbie saw. He turns around and I had long, crazy long hair, and I had the tie and the ruffles and the thing, and I'm going, and Herbie, ever the complete professional person, said, yeah, man, have you seen those cookies, they look really good, man. It turned around. So that was my experience with Maynard and famous people.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I can't believe I got to do that.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
We're looking forward to the clinics tomorrow and the concert, and it should be great. So, yeah, man, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
All right, man.